Hi, I'm Katie Turner from Walton Communications. Today I'm with Claire French from EMG Solicitors. Good afternoon, Claire. Could you give me a brief background on your role at EMG and how long you've been with the firm?
Yes, hello, I'm Claire French and I'm an Associate Solicitor in the Court of Protection team here at EMG. So I manage the property and financial affairs for clients who lack the mental capacity to do so themselves. And I do that with a great team of legal executives and legal assistants who support me. Most of our clients have received significant personal injury awards, whether that's via having a road traffic accident or having an injury at birth. And whilst the majority of them can manage their day-to-day finances, what they can't do is do some of the bigger things. So they can't budget or invest appropriately for the long-term needs. They can't oversee property renovation projects. They can't accept insurance, and they can't set up and put in place care packages, some of which I guess can be quite complex and can involve things like putting in place contracts of employment and payroll. And so I'm guessing that's where my team help. I also am a step qualified wills and trust practitioner, and so I'm well placed to draft things like wills, advance statements and trusts, and I routinely do that for lots of my clients. And in addition, I also help with lots of the lay deputyship applications. So that might be somebody applying to be somebody's deputy, or an existing deputy applying to the court for some special authorisations. For example, if they haven't, the order doesn't say that they're allowed to buy a property, or to put in place something like a statutory will.
Okay, fantastic, thank you. And why should a client consider changing their professional deputy?
Yeah, I think there are probably a couple of reasons. I think the main ones are if there's a lack of trust between the client and the deputy. So if that trust is broken down, I think they should think about changing. It's so important that a client trust that their deputy is acting in their best interest for them. And whilst a client might not always like the decision that's being made, so they might be disappointed that they can't buy their dream car, it's important that they understand how that decision's been reached and can see that, you know, the deputy really is looking out for them. I think another thing is if there's difficulty in communication, it's really important that a client knows that they can speak to the deputy or somebody in their team. There's quite often emergencies that pop up, and I think it can be comforting for clients to know that they can speak to somebody so they can be dealt with promptly, and so that money can be transferred that day if needs to be. I think especially with the brain injured clients, it's important that they get communicated to in the way that suits them. So whether that's via WhatsApp, text, email, video call or telephone call, and I think here at EMG we're very good at doing that, communicate in a way that works for our clients. And perhaps most importantly, I think if somebody's needs aren't being met in a timely manner, of course it's extremely important that clients have the treatment and equipment that they need, and that's provided when they need it, so they can really improve and develop their lives and live their lives as best as they can do.
Excellent, thanks Claire. And how would you go about changing a professional deputy? What does a process involve?
Yeah, well, normally the process is a fairly smooth and simple one. It requires an application to the court to seek discharge of the current deputy and appointment of a new deputy. And we usually talk to the existing deputy, and they normally consent to our application, and that's because they realise that they can't fulfil their own professional duties if the relationship between, you know, them and their client is irretrievably broken down.
Okay, great stuff. And what type of clients do you typically work with, Claire?
Yeah, I think there are a whole host of clients that the majority of them have had brain injuries. They vary in ages, so there's some infants, there's some later in life, there's some with diverse care needs. So some are on 24-hour care packages, some need minimal support. Others have, I think, varying insights into how the brain injury has affected them. And I think our most challenging clients are probably those who are physically fit and look physically able, but really don't understand that they have a mental deficit. And I think we also deal with clients from a range of whole socio-economic backgrounds. And I guess all of that makes the job, a very interesting one.
I can well imagine. So how would your clients describe you in 3 words, Claire? Tricky question, I know.
I think, and I would hope, empathetic. I think honest, and I think you've got to be honest with your clients, and fair. They've got to know that you are treating them appropriately and right, and they've got to know that you would weigh things up properly for them. I really do think we have a great team of people who really do care passionately about supporting their clients. And I think our team are open, approachable, and caring. And I think that really transmits well, hopefully, to the way that we deal with our clients.
Definitely. It really comes across talking to you, the passion and enthusiasm you have for working at EMG. And finally, when you're not at working, what do you like to do outside of work?
Probably being in a coffee shop. I would probably frequent lots of coffee shops. I'd probably be out walking my dogs across the fields for a long time, or just catching up with family and friends.
Fantastic. Thanks so much for your insight, Claire. Really appreciated.